In this video, I'm going to go over how to get and use videos to make your GIFs. So I'm going to use Drake's Hotline Bling to have his dance moves turn into him throwing pepperoni slices onto a pizza. So there's a very particular part of the movie that I want. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. And of course, I right now am recording my screen to get this. So the part is coming up, and it is going to be hopefully in just a second. It's this part right here that I want to record, so I can just pause that. Then on a Mac, I can go to my QuickTime player, or if I want to search, right, I can find QuickTime. Okay, and use that. Then I go to that, and I can go ahead. I'm already screen recording, so the option isn't actually there, but I can do a new screen recording. Then I can either select a particular part of the screen or record the whole screen. I would go ahead and just drag out a box on this area here to record that. Then it will record it. You can tell it to stop recording by right-clicking on the app here and doing stop screen recording. And then it will open up a file that you can then save. I think that's the best way to go about screen recording. If you have a PC, please just Google how to do a screen recording on a PC. Now I have a folder here, right? Because again, when I'm working with these assets, I need to have all of them in a folder. So Photoshop knows where to find them. And then when I'm done, I can have my Photoshop file and all of these zipped and uploaded to Moodle. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up Photoshop. I will go ahead and X out of my previous demos here, and I will create a new document. Now this document, again, I'm going to do it the same way, film and video, width 800. I'm going to keep the height at 720 for the moment because I know I'm going to have to crop down to the height of the video. So now I have that. I'm going to go ahead and create a video timeline. On layer 0, I'm going to go to this film strip and I'm going to say add media. Then I'm going to find my Hotline Bling folder, find the movie, and open it. Okay, and then that comes in within this video group. In the layer panel, I'm just going to go ahead and drag this out of the video group so that I then have it on its own layer. And it is a little bit bigger than I need, but this might actually be cropped in an okay way, but it's not. The video is cropping a little bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and free transform it. Okay. Bring it down. I'll just go ahead and make it like so. Okay, so now it's the right size. So I'll go ahead and now crop the unused portions of my canvas. Didn't quite get that, so let's try that again. So I'm going to have to zoom in to get rid of that small bar here. So I press Command and plus to do that. Now the next thing I need to do is get it so I just have the part of the video that I want. So I'm going to move my scrubber to the beginning. Then I'm just going to grab my video layer and just start moving it until I get to the part that I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on my timeline and make this a little bit easier. A little bit more fine-tuned. Okay, and so here is where I want to start. Then I'm going to move my scrubber to the end here. So when the scene's about to change, right, I can come here, then I can grab the edge. Notice how the cursor changes when it changes like that. I can just grab this and that will trim the end of the clip and it should snap. to the edge of the video. Okay. All right, so now we have that. And all I need to do now is get my other images in here and start animating them. So I'll go ahead and open up my folder, drag the cheese pizza, and then I'll go ahead and also drag the pepperoni slice. Now notice both of these came in the video group, so I need to bring them out and above the layer here. And also notice they came in a real annoying place. So I just need to also bring them so they're now over the layers. Now, what I need to do with both of these is I need to get rid of the white space, get just the parts I want. So with the pepperoni, I'll go ahead and I'll quick select the pepperoni, which hopefully should be a pretty easy task. And I'm just going to copy and paste it onto a new layer, hide the original layer. I'm going to do the same thing with the pizza, which might be a little bit harder since it's also got that pizza peel. I'm not being too careful, right? Well, we'll probably want to be a little more careful than I am. We have that, so then again, I'll copy and paste that onto a new layer and hide the original. Looks like I missed a little part, and so I'm going to go ahead and again grab my quick select tool and then just delete the part I don't really want. Okay, so now I have my pizza down here. I'll go ahead and make that just a little bit smaller. And then I have my pepperoni. Now, the pepperoni is the main thing I'm going to need to edit, and I'm going to have him throw it a couple different times. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller, but still pretty big. And then I'm going to right click to convert it to a smart object since I am going to be transforming this. I'm going to call this pep1. And then I'm going to duplicate the layer a couple of times. So let me get my Photoshop window completely in here. And I will simply drag it onto the new layers. Make this pep2. And I'd probably do a few more, but I'll just do the first two here. So to start out, I want to go ahead and make sure that everything's at the beginning and everything ends also at the same time. So I'm going to drag the scrubber there so that everything can kind of end at the same time. Okay, and then I'm going to open up my pep1, go to where he's going to grab the first pepperoni, which is right here kind of from his, when he's grabbing his other hand here. So I'm going to want this here. And there's a couple things I need to do. I need to engage both the transform and the opacity command. So I want to see this pepperoni now, but the frame before, I really don't want to see it. So I'm going to move it back one frame and change the opacity to 0. So now it will just appear here. And, you know, maybe it should actually kind of be at the top of his hand here. And then he is, basically I'm going to have it follow his hand. All right, so I'm just going to kind of move this a little bit and then have it follow the hand. And then once he lets go, I'm going to have it land on the pizza. And I'm also going to have it shrink in size so it kind of fits on the pizza. Okay, so when we see that, right, I'm just going to press play to. Now that happened a little bit quick, so maybe I'll extend that keyframe a little bit. Right, and then I'll do the same thing with the pepperoni too. Right, so I'm going to say, okay, it comes there. Now I'm going to find the next spot where he comes in, right there. So I'm going to move, whoops. I'm going to make sure I'm on the right pepperoni layer. I'm going to just move it into place, hit the transform and the opacity. Move the scrubber back one frame, make the opacity 0 so it's not showing up before. Then when he goes back to reach, it shows up. And then again, I have the transform engaged. So once he starts moving his hand down, just going to use the arrow keys here. Right, I'm just going to kind of keep it holding his hand. It's there, and then here, let's go. So right here, I'm then going to have it land on the pizza. Command T to free transform. Hold the Option key to... That would go from the center. I'm going to move the arrows over here, hit return, and then I have the two. And then, of course, he does it again. So I do it a few more times, ideally. And then I would go ahead and export it. There are other videos for that, so I'm going to leave it at that.